What did we do in the last class?
So last class was focused mainly on the study of mismatches which might occur due to process variations which occur in a device. So you want like you memory typically you would have billions of devices replicated. So in these kind of cells, like mismatches are very frequent to occur and like they can cause a lot of havoc in our circuit and all that those things. So you would want to model those things like deterministically by some way, but there are some mismatches which are not able to be modeled properly. Like there are systematic variations and random variations. So like
So
system.
which are the examples of systematic variations? Which are systematic variations? We've covered them.
So systematic variation, as far I can remember, was one of them was the proximity effect, which we saw.
Well, proximity effect.
The
Okay.
well proximity effect as the stress effect, and also the STI, the stress effects, which we saw while
Okay.
manufacturing the.
Stress effects. Yes.
Yes. Uh,
And dishing. Yes. Proximity effects, stress effects, dishing. What else? Hello. Yeah. Variations due to OPC. Yes. So we saw that due to lithography issues, there will be rounding off poly, there will be bending off or rounding or necking off poly, and all those things. And all these things can be modeled. To reduce some of these things, what did we talk about? What do we do? To reduce these optical or lithographic kind of errors, what do we do?
no.
Dummy cells.
Okay, yes, we put
Wherever
them.
there is a sparse layout, we will fill the like in between SiO2 with the dummy cells, metal cells, so that
Yes,
the
we'll
dishing
put
will be less.
yes, we will put tiles in there. We will put uh, dummy cells and dummy fills in there. What else? What else? What else? Yes. What we say is that if there is a possibility to add an additional contact, if there is a possibility to increase the spacing from the minimum DRC without impacting area, let us do that. So we also talked about things like DRC checks, and then we follow the design after the design is DRC clean. We also do DFM checks, so that wherever possible we can bring about those relaxation of rules, so that the chip fabrication is much more deterministic and there are lesser defects. Okay, so what are examples of random variations? What causes random variations?
Dopant fluctuation.
Random dopant fluctuations. And we did some examples, some numerical as to what is the volume of a small channel in an advanced technology and what is, what kind of number of dopants we are talking about over there. And we saw that the number of dopants is actually very less. And therefore, what is important is that, in advanced technologies, for example, we see that we only have fully depleted channels. Whether it is FinFETs or it is FDSOI, the channel is fully depleted so that the RDF, random dopant fluctuation length variations, are reduced. Okay. What else? What other random variations did we talk about?
Sir, interface roughness.
Interface roughness. Very good. What else?
Edge roughness, like due to
Line edge
isotropic
roughness.
anisotropic, yeah, line
Yes,
edge roughness.
line edge roughness. So, see, these systematic variations can be modeled. You can still do something about them. You can verify the design by modeling these variations. But random mismatch, random variations cannot be modeled accurately. You can only model them probabilistically, statistically. And what is the method that you use to do statistical analysis on your design?
Monte Carlo.
Yeah. So we talked about Monte Carlo till now, and today we will go into a little more detail about how statistics are important for process maturity and how we need to verify by using other distributions and other methods. Akshat, yes, you're saying something? Okay. Okay. So today we will go a little deeper into the statistics part. Okay, we are not really talking about mismatch now, but about how mismatch can be modeled and taken care of in our designs. And this is very important as a part of memory design course. Now we will not talk about the statistics in the pure, pure mathematical way, but more in the intuitive way, because I want you to understand that the mathematics that you have learned in your probability and statistics courses has very significant relevance for VLSI. But I do not want to enter into the mathematical derivation and mathematical stuff there, but to give you an intuitive hang of what we're talking about. Is that okay? So this is what a Gaussian distribution looks like. All of you have seen this kind of a distribution?
Yes, sir.
So the center point, बिल्कुल जो सीध में center में है, that is the
mean.
Mu. What does mu mean? That is the mean. Okay. Then what do these 1 sigma, -1 sigma, 2 sigma, -2 sigma represent? What is the sigma?
Standard deviation.
This is the standard deviation. So what we say, standard deviation is a measure of how far our samples or how many number of samples are far away from the mean. So within ±1 sigma of a Gaussian distribution, we have around 68.2% of samples. Okay. Within ±2 sigma, we have around 95% of samples. Within ±3 sigma, we have around 99.7% of samples. Good enough?
No.
3 sigma is good enough?
No, sir.
No.
No,
Why?
sir.
So because we would
Sir,
have
because we are
billions
talking
of
about million of transistors.
Okay, we are talking about millions of transistors. So this 1, 2, 3 sigma ±3 sigma doesn't may hold any significance for us. So जो 6 sigma parlance रहता है ±3 sigma वाला, that is not really what will work for SRAM design. So what do we need to do? For us, the spin is in the tail. How have the variations changed, or how are the variations in the final fag end? And we start to see that, okay, we need to go to ±6 sigma to be able to talk of yields which are appropriate. So when you want a 99% yield with a capacity of 16 MB, we're talking about 16 million cells, million SRAM cells per die, and then we're talking about 100 such dies. So 1.6 billion SRAM cells, and how many fails do we want out of them? 1. 1 fail out of 1.6 billion cells. How many sigma do you need to qualify? Do you realize even ±6 sigma will not suffice for you?
Yes, sir.
You're able to see this? So in reality, for 16 megabit, you need to qualify 6.12 sigma. At 6 sigma, you can only qualify something like 4 megabit. Okay. And at 5 sigma, you are qualifying only about 1 megabit. Okay. So जो आपके projects में targets हैं, qualify 6 sigma, qualify 5 sigma, that is what we are saying, that the capacity that you are deciding to put on chip is reducing as you go to lower sigma. So if you have a SoC where you say that, okay, when I am in low power modes or when I am in low load modes, I can reduce the voltage and I can reduce the frequency of operation. Now, alongside, if you can also reduce the memory footprint, in the sense that the kind of memory capacity that you need for those low load programs, if you can reduce that, through your operating system and through your computer architecture optimizations, then you can actually qualify lesser sigma and go to a still lower voltage than what the technology otherwise would allow. Is this point clear?
Is it like an extension to DVFS? I mean, like,
This is a way to extend DVFS further. So what can happen is that to qualify Six Sigma, you can say that my memory cell will go down to 0.8 volts. Okay. However, if you can reduce the memory capacity that is active at low voltages, then you only have, let us say, 1 megabit capacity. So your bit cell now needs to qualify only 5 sigma.
5 sigma.
And for 5 sigma, the same memory cell could be able to go down to 0.75 volts. So when you will do your projects, you will see that as you reduce the voltage of operation, the sigma qualification would degrade. Okay. And if we can, through computer architecture optimization, through operating system optimization, limit the memory capacity required for the programs when you are in low load conditions, you can go to lower voltage of operation. Is this clear now?
So that's why one would want to qualify a chip at all sigmas so that one could give different specifications to the customer that aapka, I mean,
No.
that.
So no. So this is not given to the customers on a data sheet.
Okay.
But if you are if you suppose, for example, if you suppose are a designer in ARM, okay, you will not be able to give this benefit to the customers of ARM. However, when you are designing that core for ARM itself, then the ARM design team will come to you as a memory designer and work with you. And then to the ARM core design team, you will tell that, भाई इसको ना ऐसा कर सकते हैं, हम अपनी memory से ऐसे और VDD निचोड़ सकते हैं. Then you will be able to work with it. Now, ARM has a team that designs memories, and ARM has a team that designs cores. So
Right.
ARM can benefit from it. Synopsys?
No.
ST, TI, Qualcomm, all of them can benefit by this. But all this benefit can accrue only when they also are designing the memories. If they are picking memories from, let us say, a Synopsys or ARM or other vendors, then they will not be able to use this still. For the in-house design memories, they will still be able to use this kind of extension of DVFS.
Sir,
Okay? Yes, Akshat?
sir, one thing it is clear that if I need less capacity, then I would need to qualify less sigma. But sir, what is its relation with the voltage?
Why do we say that there is a minimum voltage at which a memory cell can operate? What happens below that voltage?
Sir, the cell would fail.
What do you mean by cell would fail?
Sir, I think the
अभी हमने
memory
देखा.
contents get corrupted when we decrease the voltage to a certain level.
That is one aspect. That is SNM. What is the other aspect?
Retention voltage.
Retention voltage. Okay. What else? आपने रीड ऑपरेशन बोला, रिटेंशन बोला, और कौन सा मेजर ऑपरेशन होता है मेमोरी?
Writability.
राइट ऑपरेशन, है ना? सो रीड और राइट विल फेल. What does fail mean? Will every cell fail?
No.
Which cell will fail?
The slowest one. I mean, the worst case one.
In this distribution, the cell which is farther away from mean. Something which is 4, 5, 6 sigma away. So which cell will fail first? 6 sigma cell or 5 sigma cell?
6 sigma cell.
Okay. Now I say that I need to go to only 5 sigma. So can I go to a lower voltage?
No.
Because 5 sigma cell will fail later, na? You start
yes.
to lower voltage. You start to lower voltage. First cell to fail is 6 sigma cell. So you say this is the VD min. Now you say नहीं 6 sigma तो ज्यादा है, मेरे को तो इतनी capacity नहीं है, I need only 5 sigma. So what can you do? You will go to slightly lower voltage, and then the 5 sigma cell will fail. So what are you doing? By reducing the capacity, you are able to reduce the voltage of operation. Is this clear now? Hello?
Sir, not exactly.
चलो फिर से करते हैं. You are at 1.0 volts. Everything is passing. You start to lower the
Okay.
voltage, you reach 0.95 volts. One cell fails. Which cell would that be?
Sir, I think 1 sigma or 2 no, sorry.
Which cell would fail first?
6 sigma.
Something which is closer to the center or which is farther away from the center?
Farther.
Farther away from the center. So which cell would fail first?
So 6 sigma wali.
Okay, so 6 sigma cell fails at 0.95. Now you say, but I do not have that kind of a capacity to work with. I am only working with a capacity of, let us say, 1 megabits. So I can go to, I can still lower voltage until the 5 sigma cell fails. So you reduce the voltage further. Then what happens? 5.8 sigma cell fails. Then 5.6 sigma cell fails. You still reduce the voltage. And there comes a point when 5 sigma cell also fails. That is what you say is my VDD min for the 1 megabit capacity usage.
Yes, sir. Now it's clear.
Okay.
Thank you.
So
Sir.
what we are saying is that there is a way to be able to reduce voltage of operation if we can somehow reduce the capacity that we are targeting at low voltages. Okay. Now you can do this for a cell phone kind of an architecture. If you do not have ECC, do you think you can do this for a car? If you do not use ECC, do you think you can do this for a car? The brake controls in your car, can you do this? If you do not have ECC? Hello?
Sir, I think no.
I think no. Okay. So ECC stands for error correction codes. You never heard about them? Communication के course तो करे होंगे? Some course in communication you must have done?
Yes, sir.
No?
Yes, sir.
So ECC stands for error correction codes. What they do is that even if there is one error in the system, they will correct it and they will still be able to give the correct output. So if you do not have ECC, can you do this voltage lowering and capacity linked this so effectively, so confidently?
Are we saying that variability in in a automobile as compared to a phone would be very higher? So वहाँ पे
No.
variations काफी आ सकते हैं while operation.
Sir, those are life critical applications, so we cannot.
Yes, those are life critical applications. They can lead to a life or death of a person. If suppose ब्रेक के अंदर आपने ब्रेक अप्लाई करनी थी 1 भेजना था और वो 0 हो गया ड्यू टू सम स्टैटिस्टिकल एरर, वो सेलफोन में भी हो सकता है. सेलफोन में क्या नुकसान होगा? आपका फोन हैंग हो जाएगा, दोबारा से डेटा भेजना पड़ सकता है, कुछ ऐसा हो जाएगा. बट ऑटोमोटिव में एक्सीडेंट हो जाएगा. So these DVFS and these capacity linked voltage lowering, all these schemes are very good, but they are still not applied for life critical applications unless there are other safety checks that are put in place like ECC and other stuff. So we will talk about those safety checks also later, but unless those are put in place, we do not apply such capacity linked voltage lowering on automotive kind of applications or medical kind of applications. Is that okay?
So
Yes.
So when we talk about the mean and the distribution over here, so distribution is kind of जो इसमें mean लिया गया है वो उन cells का लिया गया है जो सबसे I mean better perform कर रहे हैं या फिर specifications को meet कर रहे हैं. I mean meet कर रहे हैं specifications को. The mean basically what is the mean of?
मीन तो सारे सेल्स का लिया गया ना, सारे सेल्स का सेल करंट मेजर करा गया, उसका मीन ले लिया. सारे डिवाइसेस का वीटी मेजर करा गया, उसका मीन ले लिया. मीन में अच्छा या बुरा का मतलब ही क्या है? मीन तो मीन है.
नहीं, I was just wondering what is this distribution of? I mean, what parameter?
This distribution could be cell current, this distribution could be VT, this distribution could be anything. It's still talking only about this distribution could be of SNM. We're only talking about a distribution yet. We're not even talking about figures of merit. Figures of merit we already talked about in the first few lectures. This distribution would fit into almost anything. Okay. So, yes.
So, when we talk about these distribution and all, so do we place the cells in same way कि हम manage करते हैं, मतलब 6 sigma cells को एक side में ताकि उनको manage किया जाए?
आप ऐसा कर सकते हो क्या?
So वही, how do we manage those things? क्योंकि fail तो कोई भी cell हो सकता है.
Yes, but there is a probability of failure. That is what you're working with. That is the beauty of probability and statistics. You do not know which cell would fail, but you know that if there are 1 billion cells, then only one would fail out of these many cells. Because this is the distribution. Which one will fail? Out of those 100 dice, which one would fail, you cannot say. Okay, now you can say after 10 lots, you can say that okay, there is some probability that this die would fail. अच्छा ये वाली die इतनी बार fail कर गई, अब इधर कहीं पे failure आएगा. But it is all statistical.
So sir, जब हम error correction की बात करते हैं, so how do we see that कि ये वाली cell fail कर गई है, so we have to manage that?
No, we don't see that. No, we don't see that. We put error correction in every cell. Every word has error correction then. Whatever word is read, there will be error correction code in that. We don't say कि इस वाले में error correction डाल दो. Everything has error correction then.
Okay, sir.
Okay. आगे बढ़े?
Sir, one thing. So when we were talking about failing, so we were saying that the Six Sigma cells will fail first. So like that, when Swapnil asked that the 1 sigma and minus sigma are the fastest, means the better ones. So why are they not the better ones? Means
No.
the mu represents the.
If you're talking about SNM, then the plus 6 sigma cell is the best one, na? When you're talking about SNM distribution, then the cell which is at plus 6 sigma, that is the best one. That has the maximum margin there. Is it not?
Okay, means for different FOMs, the sigma will change. Means like for SNM,
every random variable has a different sigma, na?
Yes. For in that matter, when we were saying that the failing, so in that the plus 1 sigma will be the fastest cell.
No, plus 6 sigma will be the fastest, Rayan. That is what I am saying. Plus 1 sigma का मतलब ही नहीं है मेमोरी के लिए. प्लस 1 सिग्मा तो कुछ भी मायने नहीं रखता, उसमें तो 100 सेल्स भी नहीं कवर होते, 150 सेल्स भी कवर नहीं होते. We're talking about 6 sigma extents.
So it is still not clear that when you are saying that the plus 6 sigma will fail first, then what does that plus 1 sigma, plus 2 sigma and mu represent here?
You tell me, what does mu represent?
So mu represents the mean, where we get the maximum.
So let us say this class has 50 students in it. We talk about marks of the end sem exam. अभी हुआ नहीं है. Let us talk about the marks of the end sem exam. What will be the mu?
It will be the average of all the marks.
It will be the average marks of the class. है ना?
Yes, sir.
Now these marks, when I make these marks and I plot a histogram out of them, there will be some sigma.
Yes, sir.
So, do you think that the student who gets average plus 1 sigma is the best student?
No, no,
Or average minus 1 sigma is the worst student?
no.
Which student will fail?
Means those are farthest away.
Farthest away. So, अगर हम SNM की बात करें, तो which cell will fail first?
Which are closest.
Huh?
For SNM, the closest one means the plus 1 sigma. When you were saying that for SNM plus 6 sigma.
मतलब हमारी क्लास SNM से भी बदतर है.
-6 sigma.
हाँ रयान, हमारी क्लास SNM से भी बदतर है कि हमारी क्लास में तो -4 सिग्मा वाला फेल करता है और मेमोरी के अंदर +1 सिग्मा फेल कर जाएगा. Let us say the mu for SNM is 250 millivolts. Let us say sigma is 30 millivolts or 35 millivolts. So what is the SNM value here? What is the SNM value at -6 sigma?
40 millivolt.
What is the SNM value at +6 sigma? Hello?
460.
460 millivolts. What is the SNM value at +1 sigma?
285.
-1 sigma?
215.
So which SNM is the worst, Rayan?
-6 sigma.
So which one will fail first?
Okay, -6 sigma.
Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. आगे बढ़ें. This is very important concept. So I want all of you to be very clear about these things. +1 sigma, +1 sigma, 2 sigma, 5 sigma. Okay.
So this concept like we qualifying when we are qualifying plus sigma, when we are that we qualify like my.
Your voice is not clear, Akshat. Is it not clear only for me or for others also?
No, it's not clear in general.
Okay. Yeah. Akshat, can you write in the chat box? Okay. So now when we say that, okay, you need to qualify ±6 sigma for the SRAM, SNM or whatever. What is important is that to get good yields, the value of this sigma should be less. Am I right? If this sigma was, let us say 60 millivolts, how many sigma would I be able to qualify? Even at 4 sigma, I will have only 10 millivolts of SNM. Are you able to see this?
Yes, sir.
If the sigma increases, then even at 4 sigma, I have only 10 millivolts of SNM. However, if the sigma reduces to, let us say 10, then even at -6 sigma, I have 190 millivolts of SNM. Are you able to see this? Hello?
So, but in that case, wouldn't you then want to qualify higher sigmas, 8 sigma, 9 sigmas, because पहले आपको
अभी what I want to qualify is something else. अभी मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि is this thing clear? That large sigma means bad yield. Is this thing clear? Large sigma, जब मैंने sigma 60 करा तो even at 4 sigma I had only 10 millivolts SNM. When I reduce sigma to 10, even at 6 sigma I have 190 millivolt of SNM. So when sigma increases, my yield degrades. Is this thing clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us say that my sigma is 35 only, but my mu instead of 250 has gone to 150. Now what happens? At 4 sigma again I have only 10 millivolts. Are you able to see this? If my mean went to 150 and my sigma remained at 35, 35 was a good sigma. That was what we understood. It was neither too bad nor too good. It was good enough. It was giving us 40 millivolt of SNMI even at 6 sigma. So it was good enough for us. But now, if this mean mu changes to 150, even 4 sigma I have only 10 millivolts of SNM. Are you able to see this?
So that means 5 sigma and 6 sigma will not qualify, no?
Yeah. Yield will degrade.
Sir? Sir, will this mean change happens?
You tell me.
I don't think.
I take the course. I am taking the course this semester. Your class will get one mean. When I take the other course or the course the next winters or the earlier winters, can they have a different mean?
Sir, let's suppose we are making transistors with a threshold of.
No. No. Guruveer, I asked you a question.
Okay.
You are one class. You get one mean in your end sem exams. Now, the previous batch that I ran in winter 2020, will the means be same?
No, sir.
No. Okay. The one that I run next year, will their mean be same as your class's mean?
No, sir.
So mean can't change, na?
Yes, sir.
You're talking about the same random variable, end sem marks. But when I'm looking at different lots, in the sense different cohorts, one cohort started in January 2020, second cohort is yours starting in January 2021, the next cohort will start in January 2022, but the mean marks of each of these cohorts is different. That can happen.
Yes, sir. But for devices, how it will happen?
Where?
I mean in devices, like suppose
In
we are.
devices, why will it happen? You tell me. I got my sulfuric acid from one vendor today. Or when I was injecting sulfuric acid into my chamber, there was one kind of pressure at temperature in the ambient temperature outside. So even though I have very well controlled processes, something can change now. For this entire lot, I just exposed it to a phosphine gas for 1 extra second. It can happen. 1 extra second, Guruveer, only 1 extra second. It can happen. So the entire cohort, entire lot changes. Mean can change.
Sir, then how our mean will be fixed initially?
No, it is not fixed.
I mean, we will.
You target something. So that is
Yeah.
what is a target. So that is what is called as a target. So you say that, okay, this is what I want to target. This is what I want to target. This is my upper spec limit. This is my lower spec limit. Okay. And then you say, for a given process, I have upper spec limit and lower spec limit. I want that this total should be 6 sigma. I want that this total should be 6 sigma. Let us say. What does that mean? That plus minus 3 sigma, if I'm centered well, then at plus minus 3 sigma, I will have things within upper spec limit and lower spec limit. But is that good enough?
No, sir.
No. So what is a good process? A good process is when CP is greater than 2. मतलब CP is और ऊपर से लेके नीचे तक it is more than 12 sigma. कहने का मतलब sigma is less than USL minus LSL by 12. That is when I say that the process is good. Are you able to see this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I want less sigma. Now come to the other point. Let us say sigma is good. Let us say sigma is good. But USL minus mu by 3 sigma. Let us say the sigma is good, but USL minus mu by 3 sigma is 1. So what is happening? My sigma is less, but it is only 3 sigma away from the USL. From the LSL, it could be 9 sigma away. Is this process good?
No, sir.
No, this is also not good, because failures that are occurring on the farther side, all these dies would fail. Okay, on the lower side, it will qualify more dies, but on the upper side, many dies would fail. So a minimum CPK that you require for the process is 1.33. 1.33 means at least 4 sigma ho. This should be at least 4 sigma. If it is not even 4 sigma, then we say there is going to be a significant yield loss. Okay, so there are two process capability parameters, CP and CPK. One measures the spread, how wide or no, you see the next slide पे जाते हैं. So one measures the sigma, the spread. So this one is a good spread. The other measures, even if spread is good, I wanted to target this, but my mean got shifted to left or right. Both are important measures of process capability. Is this part clear? Hello?
Sir, I mean, spread wise, I mean, सबसे first figure है, that is covering the maximum area, right? Anyway, the sigma.
So what does this mean? This was the lower specification limit. Anything coming out of this will fail. Anything going above this will fail. Is this the best one? CPK less than 1.
But aren't you
or you are
covering?
having more failures.
But aren't you covering?
It is not
more?
about covering. It is not about covering, Swapnil. It is about where are the dies lying. आपने 100 dies manufacture करी. How are they spread in this window? So there are dies which are in this region. So they are failures. You cannot sell those dies. Do you want that? Or do you want to sell all the dies that you are able to manufacture so that you can get more profit? This is the distribution of dies. Now, in this case, when CP is equal to 1, 99.7% of the dies are lying in the specification. 0.3% is out. You are having 0.3% yield loss, let us say. In the top one, let us say this is 2 sigma, 5% dies will be out. 5% of dies you cannot sell. So you spent $1,000, let us say, in making a wafer. You got 100 dies out of it, and you wanted to sell each die for, let us say, $11.
Hmm.
So you thought that in the end you will get $1,100 if yield is 100%.
Right.
Now, and therefore you had a profit of $100. Now you said, oh, yield is 99.7%. So instead of $100, one die, let us say, is failing. Let us say 1,000 dies here. Let us say 1,000 dies and you were selling at 1.1. Let us say. ठीक है, तो 1100 आपको मानने थे, लेकिन अब क्या हुआ, 99.7% yield है, तो 3 dies have failed. So what happened? Instead of $100, you are earning now 3 dies have failed. So you are now earning $96, $96.3, $96.7, something like that, because 3 dies failed.
Yes.
So your profit reduced. Okay. Now let us say only 2 sigma qualified, which means 50 dies have failed now. So what happens? 50 into 1.1, 55. Your profit plummets to $45. How much loss in yield? 4% loss in yield. But how much loss in profit?
55%.
Profit reduced by 55%. और देखें, let us say 1 sigma was qualified. 1 sigma was qualified means only 690 dies you were able to sell. 690 into 1.1, quickly. So you earned only $759. You had spent $1,000 to manufacture the wafer. You are in a loss of $241. Are you able to see वो 5% marginal yield ने किस तरह से 55% profit को erode कर दिया?
Sir?
Do you want anything here? So now my question again, do you want anything here? Or this process is good? Which process is better?
I mean, we don't want anything to be greater than the specification limits, outside the specification.
Anything outside the specification limit. So this one is best. Is it not?
And what sigma are you qualifying in the last case? Till what sigma are you able? I mean, you are able to now.
We're not even talking about that. We are just saying that the process is more capable. It will give us better yield.
Okay. So the thing is that कि मैं ग्राफ को देख के सिग्मा से रेट करके कंफ्यूज हो रहा था थोड़ा कि वो सिग्मा ज्यादा है छोटा है ग्राफ को देखकर. That is
सिग्मा छोटा है तो मतलब बेटर है ना? Variations are under control. नहीं? अगर सिग्मा कम है, सॉरी, सिग्मा अगर कम है तो वेरिएशन आर अंडर कंट्रोल ना. अगर आप ज्यादा सिग्मा, या अगर यहाँ पे आपका 12 सिग्मा क्वालिफाइड है तो आप ज्यादा कंट्रोल में हो ना.
हाँ.
तो मतलब अगर सिग्मा कम है तो बेटर है ना. तो ये ज्यादा स्प्रेड वाला अच्छा कैसे होगा? ज्यादा स्प्रेड वाला तो खराब ही होगा हमेशा.
सर हम तो
बोलो.
सर वारंटी सेइंग दैट 6 सिग्मा तो अच्छा, मतलब सिग्मा तो हम क्वालिफाई करते हैं मेमोरी में, 3 सिग्मा 4 सिग्मा तो बेकार ही हो गया.
हाँ.
एंड यहाँ पे वी आर स्टडीइंग द रिवर्स केस.
नहीं, हम कहाँ रिवर्स कह रहे हैं. हम तो कह रहे हैं CPK हैज टू बी ग्रेटर देन 1. CP इक्वल टू 2 meant CPK इक्वल टू CP इक्वल टू 2 meant how many sigma was qualified?
12 sigma, yes.
12 sigma was qualified. मतलब इधर भी 6 sigma qualified था, इधर भी 6 sigma qualified था.
अच्छा,
गुड प्रोसेस.
ओके, 6 सिग्मा स्पेसिफिकली लेस होना चाहिए था. हाँ, यस. हाँ, वो देखा था हमने. यस,
है ना?
यस सर, सॉरी. या
तो इट मींस क्वालिफाई हमारा ज्यादा करे, लेकिन जो डाइज एक्चुअली में जो है वो कम, लाइक जो मीन के आसपास ही स्प्रेड हो, उसी रेंज में वो वर्क करने चाहिए।
देखो अगर आपका मीन यहां हुआ तो क्या होगा?
तो सर
तो
एक
कुछ भी
साइड
कर
में
लो, कैसा भी प्रोसेस हो, फायदा नहीं होगा। यहाँ पे CPK इज ग्रेटर देन 1, बट when यहाँ पे CP इज ग्रेटर देन 1, ये नहीं है, यहाँ पे CP इज ग्रेटर देन 1 इस वाले में, बट व्हाट हैज हैपेंड इज CPK इज लेस देन 1, तो चीज यहाँ चली गई, यहाँ चली गई, आधी डाइस तो एनीवे फेल हो गई। एनीथिंग आउट ऑफ स्पेसिफिकेशन लिमिट इज फेलिंग। तो सिग्मा के पास है से कुछ नहीं हो रहा है। सिग्मा कहाँ है वो भी इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट है। वेयर इज द सिग्मा प्लेस, दैट इज इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट। CP इज इंपॉर्टेंट एंड CPK इज ऑल्सो इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट।
मीन सर हमारा ±6 सिग्मा USL और LSL के बीच में होना चाहिए।
Always. That is what we want.
Okay.
That is what we want. It may not happen, and therefore there will naturally be some yield loss. But let it not be because of design. Because of process, something happens, some contacts fail, something happens, okay. But because of design, it should not happen. You should design such that ±6 sigma is always passing. Whether the lot is SF lot or whether the lot is FS lot. Everywhere it should pass ±6 sigma. Is that clear? Hello? आगे बढ़े?
हाँ सर।
So what we are essentially looking for is that CP should be good and CPK should also be good. Ideally, this kind of a process is very good. Okay, CP equal to 1.33, CPK equal to 1.33 will also work. But if CP is equal to 2, CPK थोड़ा बहुत बढ़ जाएगा तो भी फिर चल जाएगा। ठीक है, there will be some yield loss here, but that's okay. But there is a margin, there is a boundary. This is exactly इसी फिगर को मैं यहाँ पे दोबारा से just horizontally place करके दिखा रहा हूँ। What we are looking at is that CP and CPK should both be good, so that if because of some variations SS slot बन रहा है या FS slot बन रहा है या कुछ हो रहा है, चीजें shift भी होती हैं towards left or towards right, even then you have good yield. At least 99% of dies are passing. Is that okay? So process most important thing to realize is for good process, you want good control in terms of sigma and also good control in terms of where is the mean. Both things are equally important. You cannot simply talk about sigma and say sab theek ho gaya. Is that okay?
Sir,
Yes.
this USL and the LSL levels are determined by experimentations only, or like, I mean,
No, so they are defined by, let us say, customer specification. Customer says that my leakage, the leakage of this die should be within this range. Customer says that the frequency that my chip should be operating at should be within this range. So they are defined by the customer.
ठीक है.
Okay. Should we move forward?
और सर कुछ फिगर ऑफ मेरिट्स के लिए तो ये UTL और LTL में से एक चीज तो चली जाएगी, जैसे अगर हम बोलेंगे कि SNM.
Yes, you're right. Yeah. For some figures of merit, LSL is important. For other figures of merit, USL is important. But overall, you have to qualify LSL and ULSL for the entire design. Okay. So this, we still looked at Gaussian distribution, but there are other distributions also which are of interest in VLSI. Log normal distribution is typically observed when you're talking about leakage. Okay, so when you talk about statistics for leakage, You should leakage of devices, not dies. Dies में तो बहुत सारे आ जाते हैं तो एवरेज हो जाता है, वो नॉर्मली बन जाता है. But when talking about leakage of, let us say, individual memory cells and stuff like that, then log normal distribution starts to become important. When you talk about distribution of VT, and that too at the fag tail ends, you talk about Poisson distribution. Okay. When you talk about distribution of failures due to, let us say, gate dielectric breakdown or due to electromigration, then these extreme value theory distributions, known as Weibull distributions, start to become important. Weibull distributions, and there are Gumbel distributions, and there are Frechet distributions. They're all extreme value theory. But Weibull distribution has been used in VLSI for a long time for reliability studies. In fact, Weibull distribution is used in a wide range of human endeavors. If you have to predict what is the probability of getting a flood in Delhi this year, you will use Weibull distribution. If you want to predict what is the probability of a cloudburst over Delhi, you will use Weibull distribution. So even natural phenomena are characterized by Weibull distribution. These are rare events where extreme events, let us say, and these extreme value theory starts to picture in there. Okay, so we'll not go into details of these, but that there are these distributions and you should be aware of them. You should be, that is what I want to stress for you. Then in SRAMs, we already have talked about mismatch in the SRAM cell. Mismatch of say read current, SNM, writability, write time, everything. We already discussed when we discussed about the figures of merit. For sense amplifier also, we know that there is going to be an offset. We need to run Monte Carlo simulations to arrive at that offset and so on. Even the sense amplifier reaction time, the output delay of the sense amplifier will have a distribution and we need to characterize it. So आप लोगों में से जो लोग भी SRAM पे सेल पे काम कर रहे हैं या SenSamp डिजाइन पे काम कर रहे हैं, you have to look into Monte Carlo simulations for qualifying these. Okay. Then because of these variations, because there are variations in SRAM cells, because there are variations in sense amplifiers, we need to ensure that, let us say, sense amplifier trigger or word line reset operations happen at the right time. You remember there is this enable signal that arrives when a sufficient offset has come on the sense amplifier inputs. हम कहते हैं ना, the sufficient differential हो जाता है तो SAN आ जाता है. We say this. When there is sufficient differential there, then SAN arrives. Now, how does SAN know that it has to arrive? How does SAN know that it has to arrive now, that the differential is sufficient there? Nahin? So, we are saying that there is a memory. We review this again. There is a memory. Clock comes. It selects the word line. Decodes the word line, selects the word line, discharge happens. And when sufficient discharge has happened, SIN comes and output comes. This was what we talked about?
Yes, sir.
So, who tells SIN ki ab aa jao? ये कहाँ से लाओगे आप मेमोरी के अंदर?
सर स्टैटिस्टिक्स से वो टाइमिंग मतलब पता कर लेते हैं कि लगभग इतना में सही आ जाता है और उतने ही देर
I mean, you have your state machine with you. उसमें आप प्रोग्राम करोगे कि ऑफसेट इतना होना चाहिए और उतना ऑफसेट अचीव हो जाएगा तो SenSamp को हाई कर दो.
तो वो ऑफसेट, अरे ऑफसेट अचीव हो गया कैसे पता लगेगा?
अच्छा.
सर हम इसको बिटलाइन प्रीचार्ज के साथ सिंक्रोनाइज कर देंगे अगर क्लॉक के साथ में उसका टाइमिंग सेट कर देंगे.
लेकिन अगर मेरा SS स्लॉट है तो वो टाइमिंग कुछ होगा, SF स्लॉट है तो वो टाइमिंग कुछ होगा. फिर हम तो मेमोरी कंपाइलर्स की बात कर रहे थे, याद है? तो अगर मेरा 128x32 की मेमोरी है तो छोटी सी मेमोरी है, अलग तरह के RC हैं. अगर वो 1024x64 की मेमोरी है तो बड़ी मेमोरी है, अलग तरह के RC हैं. अगर वो 16384 क्रॉस 128 की मेमोरी है तो और बड़ी मेमोरी है और अलग तरह के आरसी हैं, तो आप कैसे डिसाइड करोगे?
सर जब हम प्रीचार्ज को हम ऑफ कर रहे हैं एंड व्हेन लिविंग बिटलाइन फ्लोटिंग, तो बिटलाइन अपने आप उस टाइम में तो डिस्चार्ज होगी। सो हम लोग पहले से ही एक आई मीन वी कैन
नहीं बिटलाइन डिस्चार्ज होगी, लेकिन बिटलाइन डिस्चार्ज के लिए वर्ड लाइन सेलेक्ट होना चाहिए ना।
हाँ हाँ
यहाँ पे
मतलब
आरसी
sorry,
आ रहे हैं पिक्चर में, तो वर्ड बिटलाइन तो किसी, तो मैं वही कह रहा हूँ, छोटे कट में एफएफ स्लॉट पे बिटलाइन लेट अस से 50 पिको सेकेंड्स में डिस्चार्ज हो गई,
हाँ
लेकिन बड़े कट में ऐसे स्लॉट पे बिटलाइन को 1050 पिको सेकेंड चाहिए। अब आप क्या करोगे?
सो वो उसमें कुछ रेफरेंस बिटलाइन का हमने कंसेप्ट पढ़ा था, जिसमें इफ द रेफरेंस बिटलाइन इज डिस्चार्जिंग तो फिर वी कैन से कि डिस्चार्ज हो गया होगा बिकॉज वो लॉन्गेस्ट पाथ रहता है। आई मीन कुछ ऐसा कंसेप्ट पहले देखा था।
कहाँ पे देखा था?
सब मतलब आपने ही बताया था कि रेफरेंस बिटलाइन होता है एंड
यस, सो वी टॉक्ड अबाउट, हमने इसके बाद टाइमिंग फ्लो करा था तो हमने वो देखा था। इनफैक्ट वी आल्सो डिस्कस दिस इन डिटेल इन वन ऑफ द ऑफिस आवर्स अर्लियर. So what we do is we actually put a reference bit line there. We say that there is a replica exec and a replica word line. This replica word line actually goes यहाँ तक, थोड़ा सा नीचे तक, okay? So that it can select more than one cells in the replica bit line. So what happens if you're suppose turned on, यहाँ पे कितने बनाए हैं? 6 cells बनाए. So if you have turned on 6 cells, what happens? That if your actual bit line is discharging at this rate, this will discharge at 6 times faster rate. इतना भी नहीं, ऐसे. If this is discharging at one rate, this will discharge at 6 times faster rate because there are 6 cells which are discharging. Hello?
yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Now what this means is, if you put an inverter here and this replica bit line has gone to VDD by 2, then at that time other cells in the memory array would have gone to VDD by 12. Are you with me? If this inverter is triggered at VDD by 2, then at that same time other cells would have led to a discharge of VDD by 12 because वहां पे एक ही सेल था, यहाँ पे 6 थे.
अरे 6 के 6 में से बिट लाइन डिस्चार्ज कैसे कर रही है सर? मतलब
आपने 6 की वर्ड लाइन ऑन कर दी, 6 के 6 बिट लाइन को डिस्चार्ज कर रहे हैं एक साथ पैरेलल में.
तो एक ही बिट लाइन है वहां पर?
हाँ, एक ही बिट लाइन है. बिट लाइन इज शेयर्ड अक्रॉस ऑल दीज 6 cells. Is this transition clear? VDD by 2 here means VDD by 12 here.
Yes, sir.
So if you're operating at 1.2 volts, the actual cell would have now generated 100 millivolts. And that is sufficient to trigger the sense amplifier. So you say, okay, I will put 6 cells here, and once the inverter toggles, I will trigger the sense amplifiers. Now, what is the premise here? The premise is that the delay of the word line, actual word line, is exactly the same as the delay of the replica word line. That the replica bit line has the same capacitance as the actual bit line. That is why they are called replicas. That is where you can make this kind of a translation. Otherwise, this translation would not have been possible. So this making of replica exec, replica word line, replica bit line is called as matching. Matching as a part of a designer's job. You as a designer have to do matching. Okay? So,
Sir,
याद
am I
है ये
audible?
वाला diagram? Yes, you're audible.
Sir, is there a case of variability on the same die? Like, can it be possible that these 6 transistors are somewhat slow than the other transistors, so then my matching would be affected?
But
So,
they are
sir, how
6
can I?
transistors. So there are 6 transistors. They will cancel each other's variability. है ना? So you have done those probability experiments of that there are 100 balls in a basket, 10 are red and remaining 90 are blue. What is the probability that you will get 1 red? 0.01. 2 reds? 0.01 into 1 by 99. So 0.00001 के आसपास. 3 reds? 0.00001 के आसपास. So the probability of getting all these 6 devices as slow is very low. Are you able to see this?
Yes, sir.
So if you have more than one cell there, the probability that they will be closer to the center is much, much higher. If you have only one cell in the replica path, then yes, you are absolutely right. This could be the slowest. Slowest है तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. What if it is the fastest? Do you realize?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If it was the fastest, यहाँ तो जल्दी से हो गया, लेकिन actual bit cell has not discharged, so the system will fail. Slowest में तो you only wasted power. But in
Sir, this actually
fastest, you
answered the
actually
2
lost the
questions.
yield. Yeah.
My another doubt was that, like, why we are using the 6 transistor and why can't we put a single transistor there, like big transistor there? So now it's clear.
So now you know why you cannot put one transistor, है ना? One mid cell there. है ना? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now this 6 is not a magic number. You have to design this value. In some memories you will want to use 4, in other memories you will want to use 8, in other memories you will want to use 10 also. That depends on what kind of RC matching you are able to do. What kind of speed you are able to capture. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So this replica path or the dummy path design, this is also called dummy. So this replica path design is one of the most critical activities in SRAM design cycle or any memory design cycle. Why? Because this replica word line and consequently different signals generated will generate the reset. That will reset the memory for the next operation. So that defines what is the maximum speed at which you can operate the memory. Okay? Because unless the CKI has fallen, you cannot give the next clock. So you want it to be fast enough. You do not want to leave too many margins there. Is that okay? आगे बढ़े? So in terms of memories, we are looking at mismatches in SRAM cells and sense amplifiers. But very importantly, we are looking at matching in array and replica array. मतलब replica word line and replica bit line. Then we are also looking at matching in RODEC and replica RODEC. They have to have same diffusion and metal profile, ensure similar well proximity effects, STI and all other effects, ensure similar IR drop. But what about aging? The real row decoder will be selected only 1 by row number of times, statistically speaking. But replica row decoder will be selected every time the clock comes. So aging will be different. So you need to think about those aspects as a designer. Similarly, on the IO side, signals like pre-charge, write clock, they have to be matched with word lines. Pre-charge has to turn off before word line arrives. Write clock has to come before word line arrives. So what you do is you say that all these horizontal signals have to be in the same metal layer as the word line. Word line is in which metal layer?
3.
Metal 3. So all these horizontal signals have to be designed in metal 3. Resistance anyways can't be matched because EM word line, again, word line will be selected 1 by rows number of times. But pre-charge and write clock will be selected every cycle. So you have to make them wider because otherwise EM will become an issue. So how do you match the RC? In fact, you will not be able to match the RC. That is why I said in some cuts you will need to keep 6 devices, 6 memory cells, and others you will keep 8, in some 10, and in some only 4. You will typically not want to keep less than 4 devices. If you try to use less than 4 devices, then what happens? What was the benefit of using large number of devices there?
Probability of failing was decreased.
Yeah, the mismatch reduced. If you use lesser devices, this replica path will have its own mismatch. And your system may fail because of that variation itself. Okay? आगे बढ़े?
हेलो
हाँ जी.
सर रेप्लिका को हम कंट्रोल रीजन का ही पार्ट बोल देते हैं या फिर और इज इट अ पार्ट ऑफ आईओ, कैसे देखते हैं उसको?
आप बताओ. Replica was where? Above the array, side of the array. So it is a part of array. It has to be designed. But there was a replica RODEC also. There was a replica IO also.
ठीक है got it. हाँ.
It is not just control. It is a mix
जहाँ
of
जहाँ है वो वहाँ
जहाँ है वहाँ का रेप्लिका आपको बनाना है. वहाँ पे आपको मैचिंग करनी है. ठीक है? So what do you do? How do you ensure that system is robust enough? You run Monte Carlo simulations. But now if we have to capture failures of 1 billion memory cells, how many Monte Carlo simulations would you require? 10 billion. अभी आप कितनी Monte Carlo simulations चलाते हो?
100 maximum.
So can you imagine what is the kind of time and energy it would take to run 10 billion simulations to see if your system is robust or not? You cannot do that. That is why we always talk of it in terms of sigma. Because we cannot really say that I have seen all failures. So you run 1000 simulations or 10,000 simulations and you estimate the sigma value from it. Now in those 10,000 simulations, no cell may have failed. But that doesn't mean that your design is robust. You go to the statistics and you say that, okay, I know my distribution is Gaussian, I will go to 6 sigma extent. I know my distribution is log normal, I will go to X sigma extent, and so on. Okay? However, there are other statistical techniques like importance sampling. For example, you know that for SNM, low SNM is the cause of concern. So instead of generating the entire Gaussian, what it does is, initial first few simulations, it generates for the Gaussian to get the value of sigma. Then it starts to generate samples in this region only, because this is the region of interest. So instead of 10 billion simulations, you're able to get yield estimates only from, let us say, 1 lakh simulations, or let us say even 50,000 simulations. Okay. Then there is another technique called design of experiments. In this technique, what we say is हम Monte Carlo करेंगे ही नहीं. Monte Carlo क्या कर रहा है? What does Monte Carlo do according to you?
So for the devices which you have in your circuit, Monte Carlo would vary the device parameters such as the threshold voltage and its carrier mobility to check for different random variations like we saw earlier.
Yeah. So this is the memory cell. So what Monte Carlo would do? Monte Carlo would say, okay, इसके VT को 20 millivolts reduce कर दो, इसके VT को 20 millivolts बढ़ा दो. Something that we did in our paper exercise, that XLS assignment that you did. Monte Carlo would do this on a random basis. So somewhere it will do 20, then it will do 10, then it will do 20, then another simulation it will do 30. So it may happen that the real worst case is 30 and 30, but that never happens in the number of Monte Carlo simulations that you run. It can happen. You're running only 100 simulations. So the probability that this one will be faster by 30 millivolts and this one will be slower by 30 millivolts may not happen in that 100 simulations, no? Are you with me? Hello? So what do? You say that I am not dependent on Monte Carlo. I know that my SNM is worst when pass gate is fast and pull down is slow. So what I do is I say that, okay, I want to get the 6 sigma worst cell. So I will put all the other devices at 0 sigma. All the other devices I say are at the nominal value, typical value. The 6 sigma is distributed along pass gate and pull down. So I will say that 6 sigma is 5 sigma here and 3 sigma here. Or 3.3 sigma here. Okay. So what does this mean? Effective sigma qualification of this particular cell would be 5 square plus 3.3 square is equal to 6 sigma. So I will be qualifying 6 sigma by putting pass gate at 5 sigma, pull down at 3.3, 3.4 sigma. And I say that if SNM of this cell is fine, then I am safe. So I systematically analyze impact of variations of devices on outputs. And I integrate this to estimate yield. Okay. So design of experiments is आप अपने तरफ से circuit को analyze कर रहे हो and you are putting just the worst case numbers there. And through this, जहां पे हमने कहा 10 billion से लेके we reduce to say 0.1 million, 0.1 million, over here you only need say 100 simulations and you will be able to get the result. But this requires much more effort as a designer to make this setup, to make these experiments. Are you able to see this? Any questions?
So इसमें how is it different from important sampling? मतलब important sampling में भी तो हम worst case ही देख रहे थे कि SNM
No.
में
Important sampling में वो क्या कर रहा था, वो मोंटे कार्लो के सैंपल्स ऐसे जनरेट कर रहा था कि यहाँ पे 5 और 3.3 की जगह he would generate random samples of 4, 3 and यहाँ पे भी 1, 2, 1, 1 कुछ डालता रहेगा. Important sampling was still a Monte Carlo method, just that it identified the sensitivity of SNM is high on these devices. So it was putting more variations on these devices and lesser on these. It is something like machine learning happening inside the simulator.
Okay.
Okay. Therefore, you still needed 1 lakh simulations because you needed to train.
Yeah.
Over here, you are doing everything. You're not depending on machine learning. This was brute force.
Got it, sir.
The limitation of importance sampling is, like any other machine learning algorithm, it can end up in a local minima and not really go to the real minima. It can gravitate here. This is the limitation of any machine learning algorithm. Therefore, people also want to do design of experiments. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
तो सर ये इनमें से कोई एक किया जाता है, सारे किए जाते हैं?
डिपेंडिंग ऑन आप क्या काम कर रहे हो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर आप अजय बिट सेल एनालिसिस कर रहे हो और बिट सेल का राइट टाइम एनालिसिस कर रहे हो तो आप DOE यूज करोगे, बिकॉज रियली में आपको पता है कि एक ही डिवाइस पुल अप डिवाइस ही है जिसने सब कुछ का बैंड बजाया हुआ है. So you will want to put 6 sigma on the pull-up device and very limited sigma on the other devices, and you will do DOE with to get the worst case right time. But if you're trying to find out the read current, worst case read current, then there are many variables involved. Then you will probably done Monte Carlo or importance sampling and get with the result. Because the DOE analysis is not as simple for the worst case read current, because you need statistics. Okay. So for example, for clock generation circuit, you will do only Monte Carlo. You do not want to enter into neither importance sampling nor that. This circuit is appearing only once inside the memory, so you do not need 10 billion simulations anyways. You only need 500,000 simulations. You run it. Why even go to importance sampling? Because to get anything good in importance sampling, you need at least 10,000 simulations. So you choose depending on what part of memory you are designing. There's no one answer. But all these 3 methods are used simultaneously in any memory design for different circuits or for different firms.
Okay, sir.
Okay, तो आपको सब कुछ आना पड़ेगा as a memory designer if you want to become a memory designer. Okay, so this brings us to a close of variations and statistics for memories of memory design. We will talk about some redundancy and yield recovery in the next class, because many of you have your projects on repair mechanisms and stuff like that. We will talk about that in the next class. We'll also take up a case study or 2 of memory architecture, and then we have our mid-semester next week. After that, you have the mid-semester break. After the break, either on Tuesday or on Friday, or we will see if we want to have an extra class or something like that, we will have your first presentation for the projects. I will come back to you with the schedule, but be aware that your first project presentation will be in the first week after mid-semester break. So it will not be on Tuesday for sure, but possibly Friday or Saturday, we will see. Okay, so that is what you should be prepared for. Okay, anything else?
So we have a class on Friday. I mean, just to confirm, like in one of our courses, the prof was saying that Thursday se class nahi hai, so she cancelled the Friday's class. So that's why I was just.
Friday is a teaching day, na?
I mean, in the
start on Saturday.
Exactly, calendar mein hai, so that's why I was just confirming with
so
you.
So we have a class. Otherwise, lecture kahan se pure karunga main? I have to give 39 hours of teaching, na?
ठीक है
मेरी पॉट लगा देगा नहीं तो DOA.
No, sure.
है ना? I have to give 39 hours of teaching at least. At least 39 hours of teaching is mandatory. Okay? So we have a class on Friday. Fine. So all the best, guys. I'm stopping the recording. See you on Friday then. All the best.